Hi everyone, welcome to Iron Element. This is Mike again, and I wanted to take a few minutes to talk about supplementation. I want to talk about the different supplement options that you have and what I take, okay? It's not a recommendation that you have to take this, but I wanted to go through a few of them and let you know the benefits, and you can decide for yourself what you'd like to do. But I have a few different levels of supplements, and based on the cost, I know they can get very, very expensive. You can easily blow all of your money at the supplement store, so don't do that. So I first want to say that you don't need any supplements. You just don't. You can actually get everything you need, all of your nutrition values, through a proper diet. The reality is that's actually very tricky for everyone to do, especially when it comes to things like protein. I would say probably 95% of the general population do not get enough protein. I'm not talking the gym goers, they know, but the general pop does not get enough protein, for example. So I want to go over a few of the things that you could take and what you could get most of your bang for buck on. That's really what we're looking at, right? The goal is not to go out and spend $500 a month on supplements. The goal is to put your money where you get the most value. So what I want to say as well is you want to immediately avoid the things like fat burners, things like testosterone boosters. All of those do pretty much nothing. So stay away from all of those. Save your money. Keep the money in your wallet where it matters. I'll show you where you're going to get the best value. So the first thing, and by the way, I have no affiliation with any of these brands. I make zero money on them. I'm just telling you they're examples, and you can use them or not use them. You use your own brands. These are just examples. The first one is protein powder, okay? Protein powder, as I said, 95% of the general population is getting not enough protein. They're not getting enough, okay? I recommend 0.75 to 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So, a 200-pound man, would be looking to get at least 150 grams a day. You want probably more, ideally. For example, I'm 185 pounds, so I try to get anywhere from 185 to 200 grams of protein a day. And this will definitely help you with that. Usually servings come around between 22 and 30 grams per serving. If you have a little more money, you could spend the money on a whey isolate, which is a little more refined, a little more cleaner, has less carbs in it, less sugar usually, and you'll get more protein for the money. And there's so many different kinds. You guys know that. There's so many different flavors, so many different brands. Find the one you like. This is an example, Ghost. It tastes really good. It's a little on the pricier side, so I don't always buy it, but it's good for a treat. Simply because it tastes so good, and they've done a great job with the formula. So, you won't get enough protein. I'm pretty much sure you're not getting enough, so supplement with that. The second thing is creatine. Now, creatine is like the oldest muscle-building supplement on the market. I think it was used in the 50s and 60s. I forget. But it is like the oldest and most tried true one. You're not going to lose your hair on it. No, forget all that weird rumors. It's a great muscle building supplement, but it also has some early evidence to show that there's potential benefits in the cognitive function of the brain, the memory. So, I'm not going to jump ahead, but there are some people who hope and think that it could help stave off things like Alzheimer's, things like dementia, because it works with brain neural pathways in the brain. I'm not a scientist, so I don't know exactly, but there's some new evidence showing that there's some benefits there. But the muscle building benefits are clear. It's a very safe supplement. You don't have to worry about that. I take 5 grams a day. You could take 5 to 10 grams a day if you want. It's a tried and true supplement. You can't go wrong with creatine. These are kind of two good staples I would have if you only have that much money to spend. If you want to add something else at that level, it's going to be fish oil, omega-3 pills for sure. There's a huge benefit to them. Unless you have a really, really high diet in fish and you're getting omega-3s through there daily or semi-daily. Most people don't. I'm not a big fan of fish once in a while, so I supplement with that, and they're not that expensive. Creatine is not overly expensive, and depending on the protein you get, you can find relatively reasonably priced protein as well. So these are kind of the three things I would say if you only want to spend your money on a couple of things, this is what I would target. Really, you're going to get your most bang for your buck here, okay? Now, if you have a little more money to spend, There's a couple things that I want to go over that you might want to add into your supplementation. The first is vitamin D. So vitamin D is kind of a floater. You know, it could be necessary, or it could not be necessary. It all depends on where you live and how much sun you're really getting. Let's say you live in the south, if you're in California, Florida, wherever, any of these areas that get a lot of sun, or if you live somewhere where you're exposed to a lot of sun, it's the exposure that matters, not just where you live, but the exposure. You might live in a warm area with a lot of sun, but you cover up a lot, or you're in shade a lot. For me, I'm Canadian, so in the summer I tend to get a pretty good amount of sun, you know, in the pool, out on the deck, things like that. But in wintertime, we really get very little sun. Of course, probably for 6 to 8 months of the year, we get very little sun exposure. It's sunny, of course, in the day, but because it's so cold, you're covered up. So just having your hands exposed or your face is not enough. You need your whole body pretty much exposed to the sun's rays to get those vitamin D benefits. So for me, I supplement with vitamin D probably about 7 or 8 months of the year. And in the really hot months where I'm outside a lot, you know, the June, July, August, that kind of thing, I usually don't really bother with the vitamin D. But if you're in an area where you're covered up a lot most of the year, you want to supplement for vitamin D. So this is kind of depends on where you live. If you're in California and you're always in the sun, you know, around year round, you won't need that. So that's more of a dependency on where you live. Now, vitamin B, I recommend a vitamin B complex. I think it's great. It gives you some energy. It makes you feel good. Definitely pump that up with vitamin B. This could be, you know, if you have the money, definitely add a vitamin B complex into your stack. The next one I would say would be zinc. Zinc is great for both men and women. It's a great mineral to get. This example is a 50 milligram. You don't need 50 milligrams a day. 10 to 15 to 20 a day is perfectly fine. They sell them in different dosages. So I would add that if you have a little more money to spend. And then what I like is magnesium. I mean, magnesium we've heard a lot about. I know it helps people relax. I know it helps people at night kind of come down from their day. I take magnesium every night or every evening, and it definitely helps me relax me before bedtime. I take a glycinate, but there are many different kinds, so you have to research which kind you want to take for you. And there's different price points. It's not overly expensive for these things. But regardless, you know, add some magnesium into your diet if you can afford it. And the thing that's kind of a little bit out there, I've added recently, and it's inositol. And I find that I get a really, really good deep sleep from it. I've been using it for about 6 weeks, and I've noticed that I get a really, really good sleep. It's a sugar, basically. It's a type of sugar, and it does taste kind of sweet. And so you can actually put some right on your tongue, and it's actually sweet. You can put it under your tongue and just take it sublingually. You can put it in a shake or whatever. It's a little bit sweet. So this, I find it's not expensive at all. It's actually quite cheap, but it's helping me sleep deeper. It doesn't make me sleepy, but when I sleep, I dream more. I remember my dreams, and I definitely wake up more revived and more fresh. So these are the kind of supplements that I take on a daily basis. There are a few others that are a little bit out there that you don't need to add, but if you're starting out and wondering, you know, what do I do for my money? What's the biggest bang for buck? These guys here, the omega-3, the creatine, and the protein. Definitely, if you can only afford one thing, it's the protein. This is key for you. Get as much protein as you can. You know, front load your day. Look at my morning shake. It's got 60 grams of protein in it to get your day going. Creatine would be my next on my list. It's a great muscle builder, and Iron Element is all about putting on that muscle mass and getting muscle, burning fat, and your omega-3s are also great. So that's my stack. That's what I take on a daily basis, guys. I hope you guys, if you have any questions, you know, subscribe, comment, drop me a question. I'll help you answer about other supplements too. There are many, many other supplements. Stay away from the fat burners. Stay away from the test boosters. I'll help you find out what exactly you need on your budget. Let me know and I'll help you guys out. All right? Have a great day and keep lifting.